political financing. What do we know? Recently, our country has been bogged down by many issues related to political financing, especially the foreign donation received by a top official in our government, the Prime Minister.
At the same time, these scandals also affect the opposition parties. We see accusations thrown against them, e.g. towards DAP, the Democratic Action Party, that they've received a large sum of money from Israel. We've seen accusations made against Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim and the PKR party that they also receive funds from the United States of America. All these accusations often confuse us a lot. And without a strong and comprehensive political financing laws and framework, we'll never be able to ascertain which one is right and wrong, and that's why we implore it's time for us to learn a lot more about this topic.
Which is why me, Akram and Saddiq from the Jawatankuasa Consultative Nasional mengenai pembiayaan politik is here to prevent any of these issues from happening again in the future. Now, as I mentioned before, issues that I have given an example to, these are issues of foreign donations. Foreign donations are basically any sort of political donation that enters into a political party or individual's account by a foreign entity, or in other words, we can call them a different country. Now, issues would rise when, for example, if a donation were to come from the United States and somehow throughout the reign of the current government who has received such donations were tabled a policy regarding our trade laws or perhaps security laws, and somehow we were to pass them without any dispute. Now that would raise a lot of concerns as to why, because surely certain things are not passed without strings attached to them. Now let's move on to private financing.
Yep. So just imagine this scenario. In the United States of America, corporations specifically run by the Koch brothers during the time of presidential election will actually donate approximately $1 billion to bankroll whichever Republican candidate which they support. This amount of money obviously comes with a lot of strings tied to it. Imagine a scenario in which a politician receives that sum of money and maybe 2 years down the road, the corporation or the CEO comes and say, "Can you please give me this tender or this contract?" How would you, as a politician who has received millions of dollars or ringgit from that particular CEO, can go, "Sorry dude, you are not qualified for this"? This raises a lot of concerns and questions, especially in Malaysia today. Imagine a scenario in which a person who's unqualified gets a tender to build a museum, to build a specific large building which might not be of good quality and might collapse in the future. These are all things which impact everyday lives of Malaysians, things which should be regulated.
Which is why we hope that you guys can support the preliminary decisions made by the JKNMPP, and we hope that you too support all our future efforts by constantly connecting and perhaps giving us your input as well on the issues that we're about to table soon as well. There are 3 things that has been tabled by the JKNMPP as their preliminary decision. The first would be a complete ban on foreign donations into political parties or individual accounts. Second would be the regulation or improvement of transparency within political donations in the country by corporations or individuals. And last but not least, a limit was to be put for every individual whereby anything above 1,000 has to be declared through a controller, which will then be passed down to a separate bank account of each party or each individual.
In summary, if you as a Malaysian care about the integrity, sovereignty, transparency of our country, this is something which we must support. This is something which we must push and lobby our governments and oppositions to support. It is estimated that more than $1 trillion every year gets lost because of global corruption to some extent, also linked to bad political financing laws. Schools could have been built, scholarships could have been given out. It impacts lives of people on the ground, at times even killing people when buildings collapse due to unqualified tenders given out. These are things which impact me, you, and everyone else. It is time for us to know about it.
So your input matters to us. And if you have any suggestions, do email us at politik@integrity.my, politik@integrity.my, or like the Facebook page Pembiayaan Politik Malaysia to follow up on our efforts in order to solve this issue and prevent it from happening in the future. Remember, the future is yours to decide. To choose wisely.